This video might get me some hate and some people will violently disagree. It's the kind of video that probably will get a lot of dislikes. But I personally believe that most of the horrible things that are happening in the world right now are completely irrelevant to your personal life at a micro level. And you should pay close to zero attention and energy to all these news and wild events. For the most part, it's just fear mongering. It's an attention economy that's costing you your sanity, your well-being, your focus, and your peace. And there are way more important problems and issues in your personal life that you should be focusing on. On the macro, on the big scheme of things, sure, these crazy new events matter. But for you, as the individual that you are behind that screen, the war between Ukraine and Russia, the war in the Middle East, what might potentially happen between China and Taiwan, the politics in your country, Kamala, Donald Trump, the potential for the upcoming recession, natural disasters, and so many other things that I'm not gonna mention. All this stuff, while it's very interesting and it will have an important effect in the future of the world, and it does matter, it is such an emotional burden that's distracting you from the actually important things in your life, and that's costing you way more than you realize. The information that you are consuming about an event is causing you more harm than the event itself. The negatives of being 100% informed and up to date with all these news massively outweigh the positives. That's why recently I even unfollowed guys like Elon Musk and Naval Ravikant on Twitter, because they're just flooding my feed with fear and worry. It's just like, oh, if Kamala wins, this will happen. If Trump wins, that will happen. And the Democrats and the Republicans and this law and this war and the economy and whatever. And here's the thing, they might be right. It might all be true. But so what? Let's be practical about it. What can you do about these things? Are you prepared for this scenario and that scenario? Like most of the preparations that I could do for worst case scenarios that I was willing to do, I've already done. So what is the point for me to keep feeding into this vortex of energy that just sucks you in and leaves you dry? That just saps your attention, your vitality, and more importantly, your peace. Because you go online and you see all the chaos that's ensuing everywhere. And sometimes I feel a little bit freaked out and outraged, but then I turn off my computer, I put down my phone, I look outside and I see the mountains and the birds. And I'm like, oh, it's nice where I am. And look, this doesn't mean that problems are not coming. It doesn't mean that some things are not getting worse. Yes, some things are getting worse. But goes back to what I was saying before. Okay, this thing might happen, but let's be practical about it. What can you do right now? Can you buy guns, ammo, supplies, maybe a house in the woods? Okay, then go do those things. Or if you've already done them, then that's it. You don't need to spend more time worrying and thinking about these things. And if you cannot do that, then it's the exact same thing. Then stop worrying about it. Nothing to be done, right? Stop feeding into it. What is the point? One thing that I've learned in life is that worrying and trying to prepare for future events, for potential future events, is sort of stupid because, first of all, life is very unpredictable. And second of all, even if you make up your mind about something and you decide that, oh, if X happens, I'm gonna do A, your plans are not gonna hold until that thing actually happens. Because once X happens and you find yourself in that real situation, that's when the real decision comes. And it's usually only in the present moment when you often make the best possible decision. Because now you find yourself in that real situation. You have the whole context. You can see the full picture. You have 100% of the information. You're not playing a what if this, what if that game. And now you can look at the whole thing and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. This is actually the best possible move. And all that previous pondering, all those hours of wondering and worrying and thinking and just having a bad time overall, all this anxiety. In 95% of the cases, you end up realizing that it was just time wasted. It was completely irrelevant, useless, and you just drain your energy. The problem with trying to fix a what if scenario before it actually happens is that your brain gets stuck in a never-ending problem-solving loop. Because there's this what if in the future that worries you, so your brain now starts working on it and it calculates the best possible move. It starts making all these mental equations with all the data that you have available. But the impossible challenge is that your brain cannot solve this because the equation is incomplete. Because the future part of the equation doesn't exist because we're dealing with a what if and you cannot act on the future. The future doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is the present moment. The future, if you think about it, is just like an illusion, but it's not here. It's not there. You cannot touch it. You cannot do anything with it. And also the big problem is that the list of what ifs is constantly changing. It's a never ending variable because possibilities in life are just endless. It just becomes a what if this, but what if that? Oh, but what if actually was this other way or that other way? And now this equation is just becoming an absolute nightmare that's constantly changing it's impossible to solve, and you will never settle on any solution. So now you're just stuck here into this never-ending loop of thinking about this future thing, and this depletes all your mental and emotional resources. A lot of people in the modern world are suffering from this. Now, does this mean that you should not try to prevent things from happening? No. Of course not. As I said before, be practical about it. Can you do something about it? Okay, amazing, then go do it. Something tangible, focus on action, but not on thought or worry. That's the main point of this video. If you can do something about it, do it. If you cannot do anything about it, then stop it. Nothing is solved by worrying, only by action. And look, your attention is the most valuable thing that you have. And because of fear-mongering online by almost every single person on earth right now, your attention is being sabotaged, destroyed, and distorted. But you have to guard your attention because it's so important. You have to guard it like a mama tiger would guard her baby. You have to be absolutely ruthless with guarding your attention. Put zero energy on all that crap. Even if it's important, you have to live your life on a micro level, because that's the thing that will have the biggest impact on your life and those around you, your family, your friends, and your community. I've always found it funny or interesting that people will spend months watching political debates, interviews, and videos, consuming hundreds or maybe even thousands of hours of this kind of content for something that, yes, it does have an impact on you. Maybe some political party, instead of giving you 40% taxes, is going to give you 20% taxes. Okay, it's a significant change. But had you invested those hundreds of hours or even thousands of hours into yourself, into your own business, into your own skills, into your family, your relationships, your health, the returns on those things and how much your life would change, it is way more than going from 40% to 20% taxes. I've told this story many times on my channel on how when I got started in business and I had nothing, I had just dropped out of university, I went from having $400 in my bank account to reaching $100K per month in revenue with my e-commerce business in the span of 8 months. In less than 1 year, my income just skyrocketed. And I know it is a rare occurrence. I know that not everybody can do that. It's difficult and it's challenging, I'll admit it. But the point is that if this is possible, something that to some people it would seem so crazy, well, then at least it is possible and it is easier to just at least 2x or 3x or 4x your income and the amount you make. And that will have way higher of an impact in the quality of your life than any focus, energy, or attention you could put into politics or the economy or wars or whatever. If you double or triple your income, maybe you could move to another country that doesn't have all the issues that the one you're currently living in. Maybe you could increase the quality of your relationships and make your family and friends happier. You could all get healthier together too. And those are the things that would feel like night and day change. Focusing on your health, focusing on your business or your income, your job, whatever, focusing on your relationships. That's how you create heaven on earth for you. And for those of you who think like, oh, but it's not just all about you. We have to fix the world. Well, I invite you to watch this video right here that I made a while back, in which I explain how fixing yourself is in fact the best and the only way to fix the world. So click here to go watch it and subscribe to the channel because I post videos like this on a regular basis. And that's it. Click here, watch the video, take care, have a great life, peace.